imma- the, the immaturity of politics and the people who get involved. Hold on. The immaturity of politics and people who get involved. Hold on, let's see. By Bernie Moore. I'm going to be talking about, obviously, what the title is talking about. And I, something really pushed at my heart to talk about this because I'm seeing a lot of this in life right now. Let's get to the next. The definition. First, let's talk about what it means, what immaturity means. According to the dictionary, immaturity is defined as behavior that is appropriate of a young child or a young person. What do young people do? Think about this. What do young people do that is immature? We see it in life. We see what people do. It's so immature. And we find ourselves doing the exact same thing because we, even no matter how old we get, until we grow up inwardly, we're gonna still be just like we was. There's a lot of studied people these days. There's a lot of people who are still immature even in their old age. They haven't grown up because they weren't taught how to grow up. So they still carry on these immature behaviors. These are what we call the characteristics of immaturity. Name, you know these people, they like to name call, you know how children like to name call or character bashing if you want to go with the grown up version of immaturity. They don't make they make illogical arguments, mostly out of this number 30 reason, out of feelings or getting triggered. And I talk about the realm of politics, not in real life. This is only in politics. So I'm only using characteristics I've seen of immaturity in politics. There's several. There's like 15 traits. I put the link down below to show. There's a link I looked up online called bustle.com that showed 15 traits that means you have some growing up to do. It talks about immaturity more in depth. But I used a few examples, and actually, I'm looking at this website. I actually got a few of them dead on. Number one, number five, or two of them. It's probably most. You'll find some of these are probably going to be on here. Make They get triggered a lot, so they're always in their feelings. People who are more mature know how to control their feelings. They don't use a lot of logic. That is some form of immaturity, but also naiveness. But maybe they don't have a logic, or maybe they do, and they just refuse to use little logic because they're operating out of their feelings again. Because when you operate out of your feelings, you don't use a lot of logic. They show little to no accountability. Even they acknowledge some, but not enough. Or they're always constantly blaming something else. It's always somebody else's fault instead of their own. They don't acknowledge their hypocrisy or they practice it. In other words, they don't acknowledge their wrongdoing or they do something that they claim is wrong while trying to tell you that you're doing this wrong when they're doing the exact same thing. It's not. The Democrats. Let's talk about the Democrats for a minute. Because these people are the notorious offenders of immaturity. These people are the most immature group of the nation as we speak. Not all are like this, but they are most loud of the bunch. And that is a fact. there may be some rational Democrats out there, but you'll never know it unless they speak up. You never know it because either they agree with some of these loudmouths in a way, so they don't say nothing. They only say nothing when they go overboard. But if you agree even a little bit, you're just as bad. Okay? They tend to be all the characteristics. Who's they? Okay, I might have reworded this phrase wrong. Some of these loudmouths usually have feminists involved in BLM. And I always said about feminism, which is going to be should be a different topic altogether. It's just sexism. Some of these people in the feminist group are just nothing but sexists trying to masquerade as feminists. They believe in taking away. They try to break down men in order for themselves to be feel powerful. And BLM is the worst offender of. No, there are rational feminists. I just mentioned that. Not all of the all fit in this topic, but most of it BLM fits this. Yeah, they're a bunch of mature racist people. They're just as racist as the KKK, but they try to pretend that they're not. They try to justify their own racism. The Republicans, oh my goodness, this is it's conservative and it's conservatives. Okay, it's true that from my observation in time. Oh, and side note, the left tends to eat their own. Mm, I've heard from the right, but the right does the exact same thing. So what do you mean by eating their own? It's like they attack their own people, even if they're on their own side and they agree on certain things. It's because they're so radical and too so extreme that they don't accept any type of disagreement. They want you to accept their behavior as the way to go to treat people they think are the enemy. The media is immature in itself because it's full of left people who don't tell the truth or straight. They're just as immature as the people that they go to. It's like you upset that they're gonna write a bad hit piece on you. Okay? Even if it isn't necessarily completely true or taken out of context on purpose. But Republicans are just as guilty of being immature as any other. They do have the immature people up there who keep calling the other side names and thinking that they're going to be above it. But it's like I've noticed some of these people tend to be a little racist. I'm sorry, you have some racist people amongst you, or people who are so caught up in their strong beliefs of America and America first. They don't see the fact that what does it mean to be American? You have to be a citizen. To keyword, be a citizen. Okay, their whole argument is you, in order to get accepted, you must be a citizen. It's hard to say. You don't know who's a citizen, who's illegal. It's hard to say. You can't assume that you. But and going around asking people for their papers is so rude, and that's another immature thing. You got to assume people are citizens before you assume that they're not. You, and that doesn't mean that you get to treat them badly just because they're not citizens. You have to make your visitors feel welcome, even if they're not citizens, so that they'll be encouraged to become citizens. Everyone is guilty of number six of immaturity. Yeah, that the hypocrisy thing. The left is a master of it. Now the right has done it as well. Yeah, they do a lot of hypocrisy, and they do also eat their own, and they call the other side them just as bad. They do. I mean, I've seen people right attack another right person because they don't like them or they think they're suspicious of them or whatever reason it may be for them to go after another white person. They call the Democratic plantation now it's a conservative plantation. Both parties have plantations. You just one you would rather be on than the other. I know. There's freedom, but the truest freedom is in the middle, dude. You don't have to worry about being on a side. The leader. Let's talk about the president, who has a fan club for some reason. He's the leader of immaturity. I'm sorry we elected an immature president. I not helpful to. I think we didn't have much of a choice. I mean, both presidents, both picks were immature. So if you pick Hillary, you have an immature president. If you pick Donald J. Trump, you have an immature president. Any president that says that you should that talks about their own people are deplorables is not mature. Okay, it it's not. It's not like Hillary Clinton was a better choice. It wasn't. She wasn't. She was no better. She was more corrupt. And technically speaking, she is a lying politician. Okay, we complain all day long that we don't like lying politicians, but yet we want to hire keep voting one in. Okay, the reason why he got elected in the first place, I mean, one of the reasons is because of the left. The left's own behavior caused him to get elected. They would go around being bullies and trying to force people to vote for Hillary Clinton through name calling and bashing and demanding and threatening people as though they're the freaking mob. You better vote for Dr. Hillary. Don't tell nobody what they better vote for. And that's the problem. You didn't need to do that. If you acted like a sane human being and showed yourself to be a polite, nice people would vote for the president that seems more respectable, not the ones that go around trying to threaten people to vote for a particular candidate. And that was the most annoying part of 2016 campaign. People were afraid. People were being threatened to be vote. And that is not how you do that. That's not how the voting process works. Okay? The reality is, even though his policies are good, for the most part, not counting immigration, he's terrible at bringing people together. Now he can bring the right together, obviously, but even then, it's shaky. People are fighting over minor things, stupid things, shallow things. People don't have a real reason to hate Trump. They don't. Okay, they find surface level crap to hate him. Like they think he's a racist because he didn't condemn them enough. Okay, but yeah, that don't make sense. It's just that's what I'm talking about when I call it immaturity. It's like it's so stupid. They wanted to Trump. If it wouldn't have mattered, people don't get fooled, don't get twisted. You think it really mattered whether he freaking whatever he said, they're gonna find some reason to say it wasn't good enough. Okay, these people are disingenuous at best. He was elected because of his promises and the immaturity and bullying of the left. It was everything accumulating. I said this during the entire procedure of 2016. I said if the news media spent less time covering him, then he probably won't get elected. But they still kept covering him because they couldn't help themselves. It's the media's fault as well. They gave him free coverage. If they never gave him coverage in the first place, he wouldn't have got elected. He got free coverage. He didn't have to pay for coverage. He had free coverage because the media couldn't help themselves, and they did not all they could to paint this man as some type of Adolf Hitlerish person. Now, I don't necessarily care for the president, but that doesn't mean you get to paint him with traits that he don't have. That's because you perceive him having. That's what I'm talking about. Immaturity. people to immaturity. The solution, what is going to fix this problem we have? People need to grow up out of this name calling. Teenage people are still acting like they were in high school. They think the presidency is a freaking popularity contest instead of the person who can do the best job. It seems to me that people have forgotten how the government actually works. Government, the president's job is just to execute the law. The court's job is just to interpret the law. The legislation's job is just to make the law. If everybody did their job like they're supposed to, this country would run quite smoothly. But people don't do this. Politicians want to throw out accountability and throw it on the next branch of government and depend on another branch of government. It's, it's the Congress' job to make the laws. If you don't like a law, you get Congress to fix it. It's been the universal accepted theory of all time, but people tend to always want to find a reason. If freaking Donald J. Trump decided to run for senator, then he would have a then they could say, yes, he somebody's policy said for because he introduced the law, but he didn't introduce the law. People need to grow understanding of each other's beliefs without casting false motivation that goes to racism, systematic racism, whatever kind of racism you want to put out there, misogyny, freaking patriarchy, whatever dumb xenophobia. Okay, freaking. That's all people know how to do. Left is strongly guilty of this, calling people all kinds of isms because they don't understand the motivations of the other side. So they assume the shallowest motivation they could find, which is the worst kind of motivation. It's shortcut motivation. Like they don't want to think there might be a possibility that they might be right, or there might be right about certain things. I don't agree with the travel ban. It's so stupid. Terrorism hasn't been actually went down. Not because of travel ban, because travel ban wasn't even existing yet. Well, actually did exist. They just upheld it. But now there hasn't been a terrorist attack by foreigners since September 11th. It's all been domestic. So that makes no sense. Now, you gotta practice this, what you freaking preach. Stop calling things wrong, but then go around practicing yourself. You got to do what you say. So, start with this political correctness crap and identity politics. Your identity is not in what's in between your legs. You are not what your skin color is. That is not does not make a person. You are looking at shallow stuff. That is not who you are. Your blackness does not make you. You didn't get created by your blackness. You got created by somebody else. You just so happen to be black. You could have been any color. You could have been born any color. You could have had parents of any color, but you were born black. Your blackness didn't create you, otherwise you would have been destined to be black. You had a chance to encounter to be black. And who's to say that you're completely black? Everybody's mixed with something. Even the Obama was mixed with something. Oh, he's black like us. No, he's mixed. Like everybody else in the world is mixed. Like everybody else in the world is. There's very few pure white people. There's very few pure black people. I mean, for the most part, we don't know. For all you know, but you don't know. Somebody down your line could be freaking Irish for all you know. Fact of the matter is, and the last thing is we need to get rid of our parties. Now, I'm going to explain this last one. I've been saying, I think the problem is the split of the parties, the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. I don't think that they should have been split for so long. But I guess because of their ideological differences, they were split for a very long time. And they continue to have ideological differences because nobody wants to compromise on certain things. It's not like neither side don't care about the other side's issues, it's just that they don't have it on their priority list. Mm, I think that is a problem. We need to come together and talk about all issues that fit all people, not just your constituents. Okay, all people need to be focused because we all people need help. We all need something. The Democrats want to rob from the rich to give to the poor, like they're Robin Hood or something. That's not how you don't steal from other people to give to people in need. You need to teach the people in need how to get what the people who have got, and not stop hindering them with your policies. And this goes for both sides. Some policies hurt others while benefiting other people, and that is that's pros and cons with some of these policies because they don't look at everybody, they only look at their constituents. So who's ever on the Democratic side, it might whatever their policy may only work on working class people or certain type of people, but it hurts the other side of people. And the Republicans, their policy might hurt the other class of people and not the other. Why don't we make policies that help everybody? Now, I don't agree with socialism. I think that's like stupid. And first of all, it's pretty much stealing from people to get people. Everything ain't gonna be fair. Life's not fair, and if you try to force fairness in the world that can't be fair, in the world that's not supposed to be built to be for fairness, it's supposed to be built for people doing and earning their own keep, working off the land to gain their own stuff. It's gonna end in freaking disaster. Okay, this this is a problem in our society. A kingdom divided against itself cannot stand. We need to remain united. Stop trying to force your own opinion on other people. You c- complain about religious people doing that crap, but then you turn around and do the exact same thing. It's like a kid who goes and tries to make their parents get their brother to do what they want them to do by force. Instead of y'all sitting there sitting down and coming to an agreement, you want him to do whatever you want them to do, and you don't want to do what they want to do. You don't want them to agree with you. And that's not how life works.